All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a complete game changer when it comes to managing type 2 diabetes. We're going to break down a new strategy that looks at blood sugar and weight not as two separate problems, but as one single unified challenge. So, let me ask you something. Is managing type 2 diabetes just about blood sugar? For the longest time, the answer was a simple yes. The entire focus was on wrestling that glucose number down. But was that the whole story? Were we missing a huge piece of the puzzle? And that right there is the big shift we're talking about. We're moving away from that old laser-focused approach on just glucose, and we're bringing weight management right up to the front line with it. It's not about one or the other anymore. It's about realizing they're two sides of the very same coin. So here's the plan for our explainer. We'll kick off with this new game plan. Then we'll set our goals, check out the toolkit you can use, figure out how to pick the right meds, tackle some common roadblocks, and then we'll wrap it all up with the one big idea you need to remember. Okay, first up, the new game plan. And the big question is, who is this actually for? So this new playbook is designed for a very specific group, people who have type 2 diabetes and a body mass index, or BMI, of 25 or higher. And this is so important because for this group, that extra weight isn't just a side issue. It's actually a major driver of what's called insulin resistance. That's when your body cells kind of stop listening to insulin, so they can't pull sugar out of your blood like they're supposed to. And this quote, man, this really flips the script. It's saying that weight loss isn't about looking good. It's powerful medicine. It's something that can actually change the path of the disease itself. That's huge. All right, so we know who it's for. Now, what are we actually trying to do here? Let's jump into section 2 and talk about the core goals. It really comes down to these three things that have to work together. First, you've got your healthy lifestyle. That's the foundation. You just can't skip it. Second, you set a blood sugar goal that's tailored just for you. And third, and this is the real disease-modifying part, the goal is significant, meaningful weight loss. And that's a key point, right? Your blood sugar goal isn't the same as everyone else's. It's not one size fits all. If you look at this table, you'll see what I mean. A younger person who is just diagnosed, they might shoot for a really tight target, like 6.5% or even lower. But for someone who's older, maybe has other health stuff going on, a looser target under 8% could be a lot safer. It's all about personalizing it. Okay, let's talk about the weight loss goal. The magic number we're often looking at is losing between 5 and 10% of your body weight. Now, that might not sound like a crazy amount, but trust me, the health benefits you get from it are just massive. And this shows you exactly why that is. It's like a domino effect. Lose just 5% of your body weight, and boom, you start chipping away at that insulin resistance. Get to 7%, and you'll see your HbA1c, that's your long-term blood sugar measure, drop in a big way. And if you can hit that 10% mark, wow, a lot of people find they can actually start cutting back on their medications. It's an incredible chain reaction. So the goals are clear, but how in the world do you actually get there? That's what section 3 is all about, your weight management toolkit. And this toolkit has a bunch of powerful options. It starts with those personalized weight goals, builds on that with lifestyle changes, adds in some really effective anti-obesity meds, and for some folks, it even includes metabolic surgery. But what happens when that's not enough? You're doing everything right, the diet, the exercise, taking your medication, but you're still not hitting those goals. What's the next play? This is exactly where metabolic surgery comes in as a really important option. We're generally talking about this for people with a BMI over 40, or maybe over 35 if their diabetes is still out of control. It's a serious, evidence-based choice when other approaches just haven't been enough to get the job done. And let's be super clear again about what this is. We're not talking about cosmetic surgery here. Metabolic surgery actually changes your body's hormones and ramps up your insulin sensitivity. Sometimes this happens even before you lose a lot of weight. It's a powerful way to treat the disease at its roots. Okay, now for what I think is one of the most exciting parts of this whole new playbook, picking the right medication. And we're going to do it based on a brand new ranking system. This is a total game changer. For so long, the only job of a diabetes drug was to get your blood sugar down, period. But now, we're being smart about it. We're picking meds that do two things at once, control your glucose and help you lose significant weight. And here it is, that hierarchy, ranked by how good they are at helping with weight loss. Right at the top, In the very high category, you've got meds like semaglutide and tirzepatide. These guys are incredible. They're injectables that work like your natural gut hormones to help you feel full and make your insulin work better. Then you've got the high and intermediate tiers. Down at the bottom, you have the neutral drugs like good old metformin, which are great for blood sugar but don't really move the needle on weight. So the strategy is simple. Start at the top of the list to get the most bang for your buck.
Look, no plan is foolproof, right? Life happens. And that's why Section 5 is all about tackling the common roadblocks. A good plan has to be ready to troubleshoot. So, success isn't just about a prescription, it's about support. This means getting connected with diabetes self-management education programs, or DSMEs. It means using cool tech like continuous glucose monitors that give you feedback in real time. And really importantly, it means dealing with real life stuff, like if it's hard to afford healthy food or get to appointments. You have to address the whole picture.
And that brings us to the end, to the big takeaway. If you only remember one thing from all of this, let this be it. Here it is. For someone with type 2 diabetes who is also carrying extra weight, losing that weight isn't just a nice to have. It's not optional. It is foundational therapy. It's the rock on which everything else should be built. So let me leave you with this question. For decades, we've been chasing after better and better drugs to lower a number. But what if the single most powerful tool to change the entire story of type 2 diabetes has been staring us in the face this whole time, just waiting for us to see it, not as a vanity project, but as the essential treatment it truly is? This new playbook, well, it's a huge step in that direction.